Let's queer up students and youth culture. Christine Frederick and FLITE Center discuss Sunshine House and LGBTQ+ youth crisis. The Sunshine Pride House officially opened its doors January 1st this year to provide sanctuary for unhoused LGBTQ+ young adults, offering shelter, counseling, education, and life skills. Sunshine Cathedral, SunServe, and FLITE Center, alongside two donors and the Our Fund Foundation, spearheaded this initiative. LGBTQ+ youth are about 7% of the U.S. young population, but make up 40% of unhoused youth, facing disproportionate levels of hardship. Black LGBTQ+ youth, and especially young Black men, experience heightened housing instability. With the collaborative efforts of individuals like Michael Kalb and Terry Merlin and other organizations, Sunshine Pride House was formed in Fort Lauderdale. It's a duplex and has accommodations for up to 12 LGBTQ+ young adults, a crucial step forward in addressing this pressing issue. Sunshine Pride House, under the ownership of Sunshine Cathedral, benefits from more than 50 years of property management expertise. FLITE Center broadly specializes in providing comprehensive services to unhoused youth and helping their transition into independent adulthood. Christine Frederick, CEO of FLITE Center, said, quote, "The program serves as a model for current straight and mixed housing facilities with a strong emphasis on compassion and cultural competency," end quote. Sunshine Pride House is a huge step taken in the right direction at the right time. For more information or to make a donation, visit our-fund.org. And we are excited, or at least I am, to welcome Executive Director Christine Frederick of the FLITE Center. Queer News Tonight. Again, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I was in there like the week after it opened, and I mean, it's a home. It's not a house. It's not just shelter.
Right.
It's a home.
It's meant to be that way.
It's a duplex. Each side has 3 bedrooms that can host
6 bedrooms.
6 bedrooms that can host up to 12 people at a time. So how is it going so far?
Great. I mean, you know, the exciting thing is that we launched the pilot of this about a year ago, and we had, rented a house that was about 5 bedrooms, and we're kind of trying everything out, doing the whole, test and pivot and, figuring out the model. And so now youth have moved in to the first side of the duplex, so the first 6 bedroom, 2 bath unit. And it's going well. I mean, we love partnering with SunServe on this. This was just something that was immensely important to me personally, but something that was a labor of love, for all of us. We had to really be committed, bear down, and work through what it would look like. What would it look like for this to be successful? And I believe that we've figured out that formula.
And there are essentially 3 legs to this stool.
Right.
SunServe is helping with health, especially with emphasis on mental health and getting young people into treatment. Sunshine Cathedral owns the property itself, and FLITE Center is providing life skills.
Right. Well, we go in. There's a lot more to it. FLITE Center places over 600 homeless youth and youth exiting out of foster care into housing each year. So we're really the hub for youth who are homeless and trying to age into adulthood, who are unaccompanied or coming from a history of trauma. So we're really there leveraging our expertise and not only setting up safe houses and kind of the safe landing spaces is what we really call them. So we're going into the home, making sure everything inside the house is okay. We're doing those life skills pieces. We help them to then have a long-term plan for housing beyond the Sunshine Pride House. So it's meant to be kind of a safe landing space and then like a springboard for them to be able to move forward, put them into long-term sustainable housing, follow them through that process, negotiate with the landlords, and do all of those pieces as well. So
and this is not a crash pad. Like there are staff. No, I'm saying there is staff there. There is a place, or they're like always on call.
Correct.
I don't know how they do their job. I mean, because they are always getting texts. When I was there interviewing them, they were coming in and they're there on call for these kids when nobody else is.
Right. And so it's meant to be a blend of, obviously we understand that our young people are homeless, but we don't want it to feel like a homeless shelter. That's the whole point behind it being a home, is that we don't want it to feel like a shelter. We want it to feel like home. We want to set up normalcy. So, we have chores, everyone's respectful of each other's space. There's some guidelines and rules. And the whole point is meant to be that they're able to work together and live, you know, in the community, understand all of the things that it takes to take care of a property, change, you know, the air, AC filter, all of these pieces. But we know that our young people are hurting. And so there's the important piece of us wrapping our services around them and being on call, because crises don't happen between 9 to 5 when it's convenient. You know, during business hours, crisis is happening in the middle of the night sometimes. Sometimes you're triggered. Sometimes you wake up and, you know, from a bad dream. Sometimes you might be coming home from somewhere and feel unsafe. And it's really important that our staff are responsive to those needs for all of our young people.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Amazing. Oh, I think it's such an amazing thing that you're doing. So I used to go to Pride Lines Youth Services Miami many moons ago, and I had a lot of friends in foster care. I myself ended up in foster care, and this would have been a great service to be a part of. So, you know, thank you for what you're doing for our future generations, because could have definitely used this 20 years ago.
Something that, I mean, that's exactly why we created it, right? Because we realized that there's a huge gap. And no young person, just because, you know, for any reason, we have various safe houses and safe landing spaces, Flight Center does. But this was really important to us during a really important time for our young people who are facing so much of the traumas that are going on right now. There's so much political heat. There's just so much, you know, hate and rejection going on, and we really needed to step up.
And you're creating the mold and the new standard for how this to get done. I mean, like, I can't imagine the amount of work that goes into. It's not an easy task to even begin with. And then you have nothing to really base on how to go, where to start, what to make the next
Yeah, there haven't really been other models.
Right, you're creating it. So
Right,
which is fabulous. Fabulous.
Right.
that's awesome.
I wanted to ask for any like youth viewers who are watching, like, so how do they get access to this housing? Like, what are the age requirements, like eligibility? So can you elaborate more about?
So the house is for 18 and up, because of course they have to be, you know, legal adults, and obviously if they're going through something that is, and they're under 18, we can certainly engage with services, but there's a lot more complexities with it, right? Because if you're under 18, you're a minor, and we need to kind of engage some other services, some other pieces. So the house is for 18 and up, really focused on 18 to 25, but of course there's latitude, because again, no one fits in a certain box, in a certain mold, and we're always sensitive to each individual's situation. They can reach out to Flight Center. They can reach out to SunServe. They can come here to Sunshine Cathedral. And as soon as you say Sunshine Pride House, they're gonna reach out to our team, and our team will immediately start to triage. You know, make a phone call if it's just a phone call to say, hey, what's going on? Let's understand. Or if you're in person, we'll come here. We'll bring you to Flight. SunServe will come here. Obviously, they're, you know, on campus over here as well. So, you know, the whole point was meant for the services to be accessible.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for everything you're doing.
Thank you.
I hope like people are able to like use the, like whoever's watching or
yeah.
able to use these.
I mean, one of the biggest things is obviously continuing to donate, help us keep the house going. You know, these donors that stepped up were incredibly gracious. Michael Kalb and Terry Merlin, who, you know, who purchased the property, gave the money for the purchase of the property. And so there's not an overhead. You know, young people don't have to pay anything to stay there, but our goal is to really make it a sustainable model with the staff that needs to be involved. The services that the youth need on site, food and clean, toiletries, clean bedding, all of those items. And then, of course, getting them housed for the long term after that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, you're not going anywhere.
No,
you're
I'm not
sticking
going
around.
anywhere.
You're here with us for the rest of the show.
I'm committed.
You're stuck. Our director's already strapped you in. You're not going anywhere. All right.